Alright, so we're checking out a dash cam here from AZDOME. This is the M580 2-channel version, so one for the front and one for the rear. Two cameras here. You know, for those of you guys that are, you know, concerned about insurance fraud and that kind of stuff and just want to have a dash cam in your car in case of any kind of an accident, these things are invaluable and they're coming down in price quite a bit. And I've had one in my car for many years, but it's only 2.7K or 2.5K video. Can't quite make out the license plates when they're a little bit further away, so I thought this one would be a good upgrade for me. It's a 4K camera in the front, and of course being able to see those license plates is going to be important. Also, you know, how well it functions in low light is going to be important as well. So we're going to do a quick unboxing here, see what we got, and install it and take a look at the video a little bit later in the video. Alright, so I got everything out of the bags and everything. So you get these for your windshield or the glass. These go on there, and then the mounts for the cameras will stick onto this. So this makes it easier to take the cameras on and off if you want to replace them. So you get these two small ones for the back, and the bigger ones here are for the front. And obviously you have one, and then obviously the other one's a spare. It's like a USB to cigarette lighter adapter for powering the cameras. You've got this is the rear camera, and you got your VHP there for sticking it onto that plastic for the windshield, and then the super long cable here that goes, this is a USB-C, this goes to the front side, I believe. And then this is the rear camera, and there's a little, this disconnects here, I believe. Just pull this apart. So a quick disconnect. So you have to fish this cable through your car, probably through various trims and stuff to get it to the back. Although I'm not sure I'm going to install this on mine because mine's a hatchback, and those are a bit trickier to get this installed, but we'll see how it turns out. There's the mount for the main camera, which is going to mount over here. Let's see, probably something like that or like this. And got a spare mount here and a spare VHB. And here is the USB cable. This is going to go to that cigarette lighter adapter. And then the other end is probably USB-C. I don't see where the other end is. But this is really long. Here it is right here. So USB-C right there. Super long cable, probably way more than you need unless you have a pretty large vehicle. And then got some tools here. These are some clips for holding the cable in place on some of the trim. Then you have a tool here for shoving the cables into the trim. You're going to need that. And then you got your manual. Looks pretty straightforward. There's probably an app, it looks like, for your smartphone, but this one has a screen as well. I think it's touchscreen, so it's touchscreen like that. Yep, 4K video for the front, 1080p video for the back. And we'll look at the image quality, of course, a little bit later in the video. And see where the rear camera goes. It's in a sedan, this should be pretty easy to install. Hatchbacks might need some help with that, so we'll see. But yeah, pretty basic here. I'll probably put some specs up on the screen somewhere, but let's take a look at the camera itself. Let's pull this off the lens. Yeah, it kind of looks like an action camera lens. And that's, yeah, this is the up, so it's going to face out that way towards the front. Oh, this one looks like it comes with a micro SD card, so sometimes these are sometimes a bit hard to find for the right speed. But this one is 64 gigabytes. It looks like a U1 card, so should be fairly decent bitrate on the 4K video. Got a power button there, and yeah, 5 volts, 2.5 amps. It says here U3 speed, but the one in here says it looks like it's a U1. I mean, if they're including it, then it should work. This one, oh no. I misread it, it's a U3, so it is a fast micro SD card, and that's important for your high-speed video, high bitrate video. And yeah, just some basic notes here. And this is the touch screen. It's very reflective, as you can see here. I wonder if it's got any power or not. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Usually it'll auto power up from the USB port here when your car turns on. Don't think this has a battery in it, so. Okay, so I did go ahead and just plug it into some 5-volt USB power here, nothing special, and on this mount. And this mount actually acts as a quick release. You can quick release it here, for this part comes off, and then you can actually release it here where there's pins that actually give this power. So there's 2 places you can quick release this, and you know, obviously if it's highly noticeable, it might get stolen, so this is actually kind of a big one. And just let's see here what the video quality looks like. The screen's a bit on the dark side, and apparently there's a super capacitor in here, so there's not actually a battery, but you can see this charging up. And I only have the main camera going, so when you only have the main camera, you have 5K video, so even higher resolution. So it's probably what I'm going to go for. Obviously you can connect up the rear camera here, and you probably get an additional footage from the back. Still debating whether I'll do that or not, but this is what the basic interface looks like. You got your settings, everything's touchscreen. You can record audio, you can change your resolution here, and then if you have the other camera connected, it's going to be, I think, 4K and 1080p is combined. But yeah, there's things like the G sensor, so if like you're parked and someone crashes in your car, then this will kick on and start recording, stuff like that. You have built-in Wi-Fi, so you can connect to this with the smartphone app and download footage. Of course, that's GPS and all that, and I think that's pretty much it. Pretty nice big screen here, so yeah, you can review your footage here directly on the screen if you don't want to connect to your phone. But go ahead, at this point I'm going to get it into the car, install it, we'll take a look at it, and then take a look at the footage, and we'll see what that's like. Alright, so here I got it installed in the car, and I got the rear camera also installed, and you can see the main screen is the front, and you just cycle through here. The menu will go away in a few seconds, so we'll see the front camera view, and then if you want to switch, go to the back camera view. That's behind. I'm in a parking lot, and then hit it again, and then you have the main screen is going to be the front camera view, and then the smaller screen, the lower right corner, is going to be the rear camera view. There, the menu finally disappeared after about 10 seconds. Just to give you an idea. And then the screen does go to sleep. There's a timer you can set in the settings to turn that off. I also have the app connected via Wi-Fi to the dash cam, but you see in this mode, the main camera and actually both camera views are kind of squished, and there's a little bit of lag compared to seeing it on the main on the dash cam itself. Here's what it looks like when you rotate the phone and go full screen. So this gives you a better aspect ratio between the 2 cameras, the front and the rear. So this gives you kind of a live preview of what's going on. But it's a little bit of delay between what's shown on the dash cam versus what's sent over Wi-Fi. You see there's a little bit of jitter there as a car go by in the street. But this is mainly just for preview, and yes, you can download the files via Wi-Fi, but it's very slow. It's just easier to just take the SD card out of the dash cam, and then you can just plug it into your computer and download the files a lot faster that way. Alright, so just a little bit of a discussion about the image quality and how usable this image quality is. And I'd say it's very, very usable. The camera's got very high resolution, and some of this footage here, and obviously in the daytime, it's going to look better than at night. But the 5K footage is basically a stretched out version of 4K. So the vertical, I guess, resolution is 2160p, but the horizontal resolution is 5K. Whereas in the 4K footage, you'll see later, It's like standard 3840 by 2160 resolution. And you'll notice here that because it's stretched out, basically the top and bottom parts of the frame gets blacked out. You get these black bars. So you can get that basically higher resolution, more detail in the middle part of the frame. But then later on, when you see in the 4K footage, you'll see basically the top and bottom part of the frame, which is not as useful because, as you see in my footage here, the bottom part of the frame is just the hood. There's nothing useful there, and the top is obviously just sky. So, the 5K is going to be pretty useful if you just want to use the front camera. If you use the both connect the front camera and the back camera, it records 2 files. You get a 4K file and a 1080p file for the rear camera. So while they look like they're overlapped in the dash cam, they're actually 2 separate video files, and you can actually, when you look at them on the SD card, you can they're labeled or named in such a way that you can tell one's like an F for front camera and one's an R for rear camera with like the date timestamp in the name. So if you need to piece together, what happens in a certain incident in the front and the rear, they just go by the file names and then put those together, and you'll know what's going on at that particular time. So again, in terms of detail, you really can see a lot. You can see license plates pretty clearly, especially when you're stopped. You can even see cars off to the side. Usually the field of view and the side is kind of blurry in a lot of dash cams. It's very sharp in this one. You can clearly read like road signs, other types of signs on the street. So making out what's what is pretty easy in this camera, especially in the daytime. Nighttime footage is also really good. A little bit on the noisy side because I'm sure they're doing some things to sort of boost the ISO to get that detail out, and you get a little bit more motion blur. So sometimes when things are flying by really fast, you can't really make out those license plates, but that's pretty normal for a lot of dash cams. But when you're just driving slow at night, here's like some footage from my trip to Las Vegas, stuck in Las Vegas Boulevard traffic here. And all the, it's not particularly that bright. Obviously, there's a lot of, bright lights from the casinos. You can clearly see all that stuff. You can clearly see the cars in front of you, no problem. So yeah, the footage at night is pretty good overall. Anyway, I have a lot of other footage. I'm not sure how much of that is going to be of interest to you. If it is, let me know in the comments below, and I'll post some additional footage as an unlisted video in the video description. But again, if there's not that much interest, I'll just, go ahead and not even bother putting that in there. But if you are, let me know down in the comments below. If you are interested in this dash cam, the price is really good, and there might be a coupon code as well. Check it out, and the link will be down in the video description. That'll do it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.